Hey, today we're talking about episode 4 of Cabinet of Curiosities, titled The Outside. So this one felt a little Hitchcockian to me, even though it's not. It's based on a short story by Emily Carroll titled Some Other Animals Meet. And so this one is about a girl named Stacy Chapman. She's a bank teller and she's socially awkward, kind of like me, except I'm not this extreme. And she goes to a Christmas party for one of her coworkers, and they're having Secret Santa. And she gives the host a taxidermy duck that she made herself. You see her in the episode, she's sewing it up and doing everything for the duck. I actually thought it was kind of cool, but not everybody's like me. Anyway, so taxidermy is one of her hobbies. Her dad was a taxidermist, and she's married to a man named Keith Chapman, who is a cop. So she goes to the party, and the host does not like her gift. And she's just like, oh, I'm just going to put it back in the box, being nice. Like, oh, I don't want to get ruined, so I'm going to put it back in this box. And however, the host gives everyone this product called Aloe Glow, and it's like this very, very expensive lotion. But Stacy has very sensitive skin, something else she and I have in common. And her skin breaks out really, really bad. And she wants it to work. She wants to be like everyone else, but she can't. So she gets home and she has this really horrible rash, and she's talking to her husband, and he's always telling her how he thinks she's perfect, but she feels she's ugly. So one day, she's staying up. She calls off of work because she's depressed about the rash, and she stays up late, and the TV starts talking to her. And it has that guy from Downton Abbey. He's also played Legion. He played David Howler. I think his name is Dan Stevens. So she's there, she's putting on the lotion, and then she buys a box of it. And so the TV's telling her, you have to keep trying it. It gets worse before it gets better. Your new you is on the inside, So she breaks out in this rash, really horrible. And also this girl has like really big eyes, and she does this weird thing with one eye. It's kind of popped out, and she's always looking at people with her big popped out eye. So it's kind of weird. Kind of like Uncle Ruckus, if you've ever watched that show, The Boondocks, which was one of my favorite shows. Sorry, I blanked because I'm nervous and babbling. So she wants to be perfect, and the Aloe Glow box one day just like all the lids start popping off, and it fills the box, and then it overflows out of the box. It forms a puddle, and then the puddle like morphs into a humanoid shape. And then Stacy comes down there and she starts making out with the slimy humanoid aloe glow lotion shaped thing. I mean, it's getting real trippy, right? So she's making out with it, and then she goes upstairs and she kills her husband, and she stabs him in the forehead with a knitting needle. And then he's not dead, and he pulls it out, and he's like trying to radio in his injury, and she comes with an axe and she's like kills him, right? So then she's with the Aloe Glow person in the bathroom, and she jumps into the tub and she completely submerges herself. And when she gets out, she's like covered in gunk, and she's peeling it off, and she's like all pretty under, and the Aloe Glow has magically fixed her teeth and her weird popped out eye. Good on this actress, for being able to do such a transformation. And sorry, I'm trying to think about what else happened. I don't write this stuff down. So she goes out, right? And she leaves the bathroom, and she sees her husband's dead body. So she drags it down to the basement, where she's like, starts ripping out his entrails. And then she stuffs him, and she taxidermies her husband. And then she sets him up in front of the TV, because this dude was always watching TV and eating junk food like pigs in a blanket and chicken wings while watching TV with one of those old school TVs that we had in the 80s, the kind with the wood panel and the knob. So he's watching TV, and she has him sitting there, and she's talking to him like he's still alive. And then she throws away some stuff and you can see entrails hanging out the bag. It's like, girl, can you cover up your crime a little bit better? Like for real. So then she goes to work and everybody's looking at her because like, oh my God, you look so amazing. You look so amazing. And then they're touching her and feeling her up. And everybody's like, ooh, she even smells good. And they're just like rubbing all over her. And then, they're asking her what she did and she won't tell them, but she lets them feel her up some more. And then she engages in the gossip. And she's just like, she was beautiful and unique in her own way, but now she's just like everyone else, like the horrible, awful women at her job. I mean, she's prettier, but she's shallow and vapid with stupid conversation, gossiping about her neighbors. And my takeaway is from all this was beauty's on the inside, eye of the beholder. And she was kind of better off how she was before and not, she had a husband, a real live husband who loved her and thought she was perfect, despite what everybody else thought, and she's always paranoid. And he knew how to handle her moods and deal with them. But now you have a stuffed husband, some bitchy ass work friends that you can't invite over because once they see that taxidermied husband, they're going to be creeped out and probably call the police on you. You're just like everyone else, shallow, no depth, which is what shallow means pretty much, boring. And she's laughing and she's still doing that weird thing with her eyes, except it's not all big because she had her transformation and stuff. So, I mean, I did like it. It was kind of like old school kind of horror, very Twilight Zone, Hitchcock type feel to it. So, of course, in my fashion, I have to do everything, crappy. Of course, that's just me. And that's how I do it, how I roll. Thank you for listening. Bye. I'm out.